right, Stephen. This Texas outfit, this is just a different program. It's just a different bunch because there are programs that have their level of talent and they've achieved. And then there's obviously the rest of the nation that doesn't have this kind of talent. But we've got a collection of players that are extremely talented. Some of them, as individuals like Xavier Worthy, have done great things on the field, but collectively, they've accomplished nothing. And it's just, are they going to break out and be what they could be this year? Or are they going to continue to flounder? It's just one of the great storylines in college football. So when you look at Texas, and of course, Quinn Ewers involved here in his second game, what do you see out of the Longhorns?
This is the measuring stick game for Texas. This is the measuring stick game for Steve Sarkisian. I mean, he talked about it today. Nick Saban gave me a chance when nobody else would. And now he has a chance to match wits against somebody that gave him that opportunity to kind of give Texas fans an understanding, Sarkisian, where are we? Right? Because I can mention, Mark, this team is loaded with talent, with Quinn Ewers, Bijan Robinson. You got Jai Hall, wide receiver, formerly of Alabama, now at Texas. Keelan Robinson, formerly of Alabama, now at Texas. They got talent here on both sides of the ball. Of course, you also mentioned Xavier Worthy there. So you even got a talented coaching staff when you talk about Kyle Flood and Jeff Banks and Bo Davis on the defensive end of things there. So the fan base wants to know. We were 5-7 last year. What are we going to be this year? Texas has been crying out for a long time. We're back. But the fan base wants to know, are we truly back? And this is a game where you're taking on Alabama at Darrell K. Royal, Texas Memorial Stadium in Austin. The game is going to be rocking. That crowd's going to be loud. The heat is going to be at its highest pitch. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. What will we see from Texas here in this measuring stick type of ball game? And starting this thing off with Quinn Ewers coming over from Ohio State as a transfer. Good first game against Louisiana Monroe. 225 passing yards, 2 touchdowns to 1 pick. But how will he fare against an Alabama defense that will mix it up against him? They will disguise coverage. They will disguise looks. They will disguise pressure. Will Ewers get frustrated, or will he be able to stand in there, read through some things, and have some strong moments? When you look at Bijan Robinson, can he run on this Alabama defensive front and have some moments? And then most importantly, for this Texas defense led by linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, can they get to Bryce Young, create some turnovers, and have some moments there where they keep that crowd engaged in the atmosphere from start to finish? So for Texas, this is the measuring stick game for Steve Sarkisian. Okay, where are we in relation to us being Texas, wanting to be back as a marquee power in college football?
Stephen, if I'm Texas and we're looking at this from the Texas perspective, there's obviously concerns all over the place. Not that they don't have tremendous talent, but there are matchup concerns all over the place. But the one that to me could turn out to be a nightmare, and you somewhat touched upon it, but it's more so the Texas offensive line versus the Alabama defensive front, because the Texas offensive line has been the sore spot for this team during this down period, and they just haven't fixed it. The recruiting haul in 2022, going forward, of course, but 2022 was massive, but I don't know if those guys are going to be ready to go. I don't know that they're really playing much of a role at this point, but it's that Texas offensive pass pro and even the run blocking against, of course, one of the great fronts in college football.
And that's going to be the tale of the tape here, Mark, because I go back to, Alabama did not record that sack against Utah State. So Will Anderson and company, they're going to be hungry down there in Austin for those sacks. Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, Henry To'o, Jalen Moody, the guys up front with Byron Young and Justin Boyd, DJ Dale, freshman Jaheim Otis, Tim Smith, Jamil Burrows. Those guys are going to be wanting to get after the quarterback. And while, Utah State was kind of that fastball, get the ball out the hand quick, not allow that pass rush to get to Logan Bonner, this time around with Texas, Quinn Ewers is going to have those moments where he's going to have to sit back in that pocket and really read and go through some stuff. And when you have that, if your offensive line is not holding up, this gives Will Anderson and company a chance to get after you and finish the job in getting those sacks. So whether Steve Sarkisian is going to have a couple of tight ends and go max protection to help that offensive line, whether you have to ask Bijan Robinson, you may have to stay in and chip block and help out here. There's got to be some different ways to where Quinn Ewers has got to have some time. Because if he doesn't have time, it's going to be a long day for him in Texas.